Family, the foundation of human society, the center point of every culture, religion, and community, regardless of race, gender, geography, and education. The people we live and die for. Our parents, the first people we see when we open our eyes. Our grandparents, siblings, friends, aunts, cousins, and who can forget that one special person, the person you fall in love with and decide to spend the rest of your life with, who you want to start your own cute little family with. So you try and try and try, but it isn't working. You or your partner are infertile. Your chances of conceiving naturally are low, perhaps never. Devastating, right? Well, scientists in the 1900s began to play with an idea that could seemingly solve this issue. Can you make a baby in a test tube? The idea for this video came to me after watching the movie Joy, about the first IVF baby. It was a tearjerker, to say the least. I was amazed, but also shocked that I never knew about this, that I never knew about the great struggle that went into creating this procedure. I highly recommend you give that movie a watch once you've gone through this video. In this video, I would like to take you all on a journey of how this revolutionary process came to be. Our journey begins in 1923, when Edgar Allen and Edward Doisy first isolated the hormone estrogen, a hormone associated with female sexual development and fertility. This is the first piece in our IVF puzzle. Now let's jump 6 years into 1929. Willard M. Allen and George W. Corner isolated and characterized another hormone, progesterone. This hormone plays a crucial role in pregnancies. It prepares the uterus for implantation, prevents premature labor, helps the developing fetus, as well as prepare breasts for breastfeeding. Piece number 2 successfully acquired. 14 years later, it's 1943. In 1943, the first hormone supplements were developed. These were synthetic hormones of estrogen and progesterone that were made possible thanks to Russell Marker, who developed marker degradation. Fun fact, the first mass-produced progesterone was actually extracted from a tuber plant in Mexico called Cabera de Negrotat. I think that's how you pronounce it. I probably butchered that really badly, but I'll add a picture so you know what I'm talking about. By the 1950s, we had an orally effective synthetic progesterone that was called arentinadrel. I think that's how you pronounce it. In the 1960s, thanks to all of these developments, we successfully reached our first fertility-boosting drug, clomiphene citrate, also known as Clomid. This oral medication worked by blocking estrogen receptors, which in turn stimulated the pituitary gland to produce more follicle-stimulating hormones and luteinizing hormones. These hormones are crucial for the development of follicles and ovulation. Many medications came after, and many medications continued to be developed, but this was our very first step, and a very crucial step into this field. While all of this was happening, in 1959 we reached a breakthrough. The first non-human mammal birth to IVF occurred. Not related, but it was a cute bunny rabbit. This meant the process could work, it was possible, and now it was time to test on humans. How are we going to make that happen? Well, before we can do anything, we need to check if IVF is going to be effective at all, and that it doesn't pose any threat to the health of the patient. My legs are cramped. I'm not used to sitting on the floor. The basic and most important ones include ovarian testing to check how your ovaries will respond to fertility medicine, semen analysis, infectious disease testing, and what was the last one? A uterine examination to check your uterus lining, and a practiced embryo transfer. Of course, this is really simplified, and in actuality, these processes are very complex and require a lot of understanding by doctors and surgeons. And if you want to learn more about them, I will link some videos that might be helpful down in the description. Now that we have done the preparations, it is time to start the IVF cycle. A typical IVF cycle takes around 2 to 3 weeks, and it includes the following steps. Medicine is given to stimulate the ovaries, help eggs mature, delay ovulation, and prepare the lining for the uterus. Ovulation is when your ovaries release the egg 24 to 36 hours after your final dose of medication, and before ovulation, a doctor will retrieve the egg from your ovaries. The egg is then placed into follicular liquid that helps the egg develop. The semen sample is obtained the morning of egg retrieval. Now that we have these two elements, it is time for fertilization. We can conduct Intra Cytoplasmic Sperm Injection, ICSI, wherein we inject a single healthy sperm into a single healthy egg. Once this is done, in 12 days, you will get your blood test done, and you will know whether you are pregnant. This method took years to develop, with a lot of testing, a lot of struggles. But in 1978, the first IVF baby, Louise Brown, was born. And since then, more than 12 million IVF babies have been brought into this world. A truly revolutionary invention, for which Dr. Robert Edwards received the Nobel Prize. Unfortunately, Dr. Steptoe and Jean Purdy were not alive at the time, so they could not receive the Nobel Prize according to its rules and regulations. However, their names are immortalized in Oldham Hospital in England, where the revolutionary breakthrough took place. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I do hope you go see the movie Joy about the first IVF birth. It was a very good movie. I highly recommend. And if you continue to want to watch fun stuff like this on this channel, please give a subscribe, a like, stay healthy. Love you.
Bye, world.